the number to call tonight. 0800 111 4950. You can WhatsApp me on 08000 321 333. Start your message with the word late. That'll drop straight into the WhatsApp box in front of me in the studio, or of course you can email gilly@bbc.co.uk. Now to my guests this evening. Lovely to welcome back onto the programme this evening songwriter and composer Dave McGerty from the Barrow-based family of music writers. Also Dave Senior, of course, well known on the music scene from the 60s with his band Chapter 5. Lovely to have you back, Dave. We've chatted over the past year or so about your family's songwriting for various artists. But just take us back to those heady days of the 60s and Chapter 5 and the music scene around Barrow at that time.
Oh, good evening, John. Lovely to speak to you again. Yeah, Chapter 5, I started the band in 1964, and there were, as you say, there really were heady days. There's a great scene in Barrow and the Furness Peninsula, really. The whole place was buzzing at that time, as you can imagine.
And, what were your highlights? Obviously, you toured, not just around the South Lakes, but further afield, didn't you? We
did. We toured the whole of the UK. We were professional for a couple of years. We toured the whole of the UK, and we did a month's stint in Germany, which was sort of obligatory in those days. And that was an experience and a half, and all very enjoyable.
And nowadays, of course, as a family, you all sit down and write songs together, don't you?
We do. We've been writing together now for about 10 years. I've been writing for many, 50-odd years, as you know. But, I started writing with my kids, calling them kids, they're in the 50s now. Started writing with the children, I should say, about 10 years ago. And we've gradually sort of increased our output over the years. And it's been really successful for us, I'm pleased to say.
Is that something that just happened 10 years ago? How did you encourage your son and your daughter to join you to write music?
Well, I started writing with Tony Hiller, Brotherhood of Man guy, probably about 12 years ago. And my son had always written, and he sort of joined forces with me after a couple of years with Tony. Tony has sadly passed away, and we started to write together, and then my daughter also joined us about a year or so later. And it just gives three heads when you're writing a song. It's much better than one. There's always an idea coming from one of us, so it keeps our output really, really strong. And we work well together. And of course, you don't fall out with your kids, do you? There's no pettiness sort of thing, and it's wonderful.
Well, I was just going to say, do you fall out over the words or the tunes, or do you all agree in the end?
We all agree in the end. Yeah, you have to, don't you? But for every song that we write, there's probably 6 that we bin. We all reach an agreement in the end, and that's part of the process, really. It's we all have our different ideas. We work on them together until we get the final outcome. And I have to say, it's a great way to work because we all have our own good ideas, and sometimes we have not quite so good ideas. So we wheedle those out in the process, and we end up with hopefully a good product at the end of it, which is great.
You wrote a song recently for the great Dave Berry. In fact, you put me in touch with Dave. We had him on the programme. Yeah. Still being played, that song, isn't it, on various stations?
It is. It's still massively popular on different radio stations around the world, and that's very pleasing as well. It's been in the airplay charts globally now for well over 12 months, so that's very pleasing.
Yeah, and I think actually you go back a long way with Dave Berry, don't you?
Yes, I wrote a song in 1968 called Yesterday's Sunshine, and Dave Berry actually did a test pressing when he was with Decca Records of that song, and like lots of others at the time, it never got released, but Dave always loved the song, and I contacted him a couple of years ago with the new song that we'd written, suggested, would he like to do the other song and do it as a double A side? And he jumped at the chance because he's always loved the song. So he came up to Cumbria and we did both the tracks in Egremont, a lovely studio in Egremont.
And you really do cover all genres of music, don't you? Just give us a little flavour of who you've worked with over the past 12 months or so. Yeah,
we've worked with the Thessaloniki players, and they're part of the Greek Thessaloniki State Symphony Orchestra, and they've recorded one of our waltzes called the Britannia Waltz, which was really classical, and that's out and about and doing very well for us. It's actually just been taken up, funnily enough, by the National Symphony Orchestra of Ukraine, and they're touring the UK this summer. So I'm hoping to catch them doing that waltz live. So that'd be quite something. It'd be nice to welcome the Ukrainian Symphony Orchestra to Britain as well. That'd be great. Also, we've written for a young lady called Chloe Foston, and she's a Karen Carpenter tribute act, really, I suppose. But it's a little bit better than that. She's just done a second tour of America, and she's remarkably like Karen Carpenter. She's wonderful. And of course, tonight there's the Country Cousins.
Let's introduce you to Katie and Carly, Country Cousins. They join us this evening, also from Cumbria tonight. Real life cousins, Katie and Carly.
Yes, that's right. Certainly are.
Yeah, let's chat to Katie first. Have you always been musical?
I have, yes. Since I was a young child in the school plays and singing at home for my parents. And I think I remember one of the school plays where I was Mary and Carly was Angel Gabriel, and we both had a solo to sing. And then it all went from there, really.
And obviously, Carly, you've performed together over the years, and you've brought out this lovely song now, courtesy of Dave, haven't you, and Dave's family?
Yeah, we're really excited. We've just started this new journey as Country Cousins together. Obviously, we've been singing together for a really long time, but we've been releasing music separately on our own, and now it's really nice to just come back together, do something, and obviously work with Dave and his family and release these popular songs.
And just to bring Dave back, quite interesting here, Dave, because both Katie and Carly's dads are former bandmates of yours.
Yes, we've played not necessarily in the same band, but we've played on the same venues. But Vinny and Mike, the Casey and Carly's dad, we have written songs together in the past many years ago. I'm not sure that the girls even know this, to be honest. But going back probably 40, 50 years ago, Mike and Vinny wrote with me 2 or 3 songs, so it's probably quite interesting.
So I knew that.
Well, there we are. This is the next generation now, Dave.
It is, yeah. It's a bit of a dynasty, isn't it, really, with my family, the McGertys and the Maguires. And the McGertys and Maguires, if you go back far enough, we are related. I don't mean particularly with Casey and Carly, but the 2 clans, Maguires and McGertys, I've looked into it, and we're quite close. So we're related as well. Way back.
There we are. Katie, have you always enjoyed country music? Is that one of your sort of favourite genres?
It is. I started in a country band when I was about 19, 20, and Carly soon joined, and they were called Higher Ground at the time, and then they turned to Sugarfoot, which are still going strong in Barrow at the moment with a slightly different lineup. And then I kind of moved off and did a few things with my dad, not necessarily all country, and I've been singing a bit of Motown, but now I'm really getting back into the country again, and Carly's introducing me to some really good acts.
And Carly, obviously, I think you're a bigger country fan than Katie. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I'm a die-hard country fan. I've been singing country for probably about 20 years. Yeah, so my dad brought me the first CD back from Nashville when I was about 15, and I've been a big fan ever since.
And at the moment, you're having great success on iTunes. with your song Walk Beside Me. Tell me a little bit about the song.
Yeah, You Walk Beside Me is a really beautiful song. It has a really nice sentiment to the song. It's about missing somebody who's maybe passed away and feeling that they're close to you, that, you know, they're never far away and that you'll find them one day in heaven. So I know when Dave first played me the song, I cried my eyes out. But it's a beautiful song.
And what's it like, you know, having a look at the numbers on iTunes as people have a listen and download it?
But Katie's been really excited. Giving me minute updates.
Is that right, Katie? You're the one that watches the numbers.
Oh, yeah, it just kept moving up and up and up the other day, a couple of days ago, and I was just getting really excited and sending screenshots to the group chat.
Well, let's have a listen to it. This is Country Cousins and You Walk Beside Me.
You walk beside me, even though you're not there. I know you still see me, and I know you still care. Although our paths won't cross again, I'll see you on the other side, my friend. I'll always love you, always love you. I feel you beside me, and your smile's everywhere. Just because I can't see you doesn't mean you're not there. If we could have our time again, I'll tell you all the things I should have then. I'll always love you, always love you. I know you'll be waiting with arms open wide, and I will run to you to dry the tears I've cried. I know I will find you, no matter the crowd, and I can say these words of love I feel out loud. You walk beside me, even though you're not there. I know you still see me, and I know you still care. If we could have our time again, I'd tell you all the things I should have then. I'll always love you, but you always knew I'd always love you, always love you.
You Walk Beside Me, Country Cousins, who are real life cousins, Katie and Carly. They joined me this evening on the phone from the South Lakes, and also Dave McGerty, songwriter, who is also in the Barrow area this evening. You must be proud of how that turned out, Dave.
Yeah, really proud, John. We originally recorded it without the steel guitar and the fiddle about 2 years ago, but I kept it. I held it back because I didn't think it was quite authentic country enough. So a couple of months ago, we went in and redid it with those instruments that I've just mentioned, the fiddle and the steel pedal guitar, and it really makes it country. So very well pleased with that.
And just back to Katie and Carly. Obviously, pleased, Katie, with the final sound.
Oh, I absolutely love it. It still makes me cry now. I think Carly's singing the lead on this one, and I've always just loved her voice. It's just beautiful.
And the both of you, of course, hold down full-time jobs. I think, Carly, you work for BAE, don't you, in Barrow?
Yeah, I'm a capability manager at BAE, so it's a busy job looking after graduates and apprentices. But I love my job, so
right.
I'm pretty fortunate.
And you take the CDs in to sell?
I haven't yet, but that's a good idea.
And Katie, you're a full-time nurse. I mean, do your colleagues know that you're a singer part-time?
They do, yeah. I'm a research nurse. I do have one particular colleague. Hi, Debbie, if you're listening. She just absolutely loves it, and she's showing everybody, and they really like it.
Well, so you got your own fan club then?
Oh yes, yeah.
Lovely.
She said you've missed your calling.
And I know that you enjoy performing, and obviously you do that at the weekends, presumably around the pubs and clubs. We were talking to Dave about the music scene in Barrow many years ago, in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. Is it still a sort of a vibrant scene these days?
Probably not as much as it was, certainly not after COVID and some shutting down of some of the working men's clubs that did all the big live music events. But I was playing at the Forum in Barrow a few weeks ago, which was a really lovely event and lots of support. It's a really good venue. So, and Katie gets out most weekends, I think.
And where do you perform, Katie? Where do you enjoy doing that?
I just like doing smaller venues, sort of earlier ones, really. I do the King Alfred on Morley quite a lot for their Fizzy Fridays, and Taylor's Cocktail Bar in town. And it's always a really good crowd. I like doing Southend Caravan Park as well. It's always a lot of fun down there.
Well, you sound like two very busy ladies. Just nip back to Dave. I know you were very proud of You Walk Beside Me because your children, Dave Jr. and Tanya, wrote that with you as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. It came from an original line from Tanya, You Walk Beside Me, and that sparked the whole song. It just sort of sparked something inside me inside us all, really. It's amazing how quickly it wrote itself virtually just from that title. It was quite amazing, really. It was really good.
Got to play the second track now, which is out, I think, later this year, but great excitement because this, I think Carly was telling me, isn't quite finished yet, is it, Carly?
No, it's not quite finished. It's almost there, but there's a very lovely gentleman called Albert Lee that wants to put some guitar on it, so we're really excited about that and just waiting for him to put his guitar down, and then we can release it officially. Albert
Lee, Dave, is a legend, isn't he?
He's the man, isn't he?
Wow, how have you got him?
He's a great friend of Tom Tyson from the studio in Egremont, and he goes there quite regularly, every couple of years, and they like to get together and have a jam session. I think they've played together many years ago. So once I heard that Albert was coming to do that, I thought, let's get him on this if we can, and he agreed. He agreed to join in. So we're looking forward to that. But we can't do that with him till the end of May when he's finished his tour.
Well, I was just going to say, he's very busy at the moment. I mean, he's touring all over, isn't he, at the minute?
The guy is remarkable. He seems to play every night on different continents. It's amazing, really. I'm sure he won't mind me saying, but I think he's 80 now, so he's certainly got plenty of energy.
There we are. Let's hear. This is Heaven Help My Heart. Tell me about this.
Heaven Help My Heart, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this, then, Dave.
Once again, this is another one that we wrote a couple of years ago, and it wasn't quite country enough, so we've had this on the back burner for a while. But we've given this the same treatment, basically, only it's a rocky one, this one. So it's country rock. and it was written again by the three of us. So, great. I can't wait for it to come out.
Well, let's have a little listen. Country Cousins and Heaven Help My Heart, 21 minutes to 11. Good evening.
Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I've been a fool. I can't get you out of my head. I just keep on falling for you. Will I ever learn? This kind of love just hurts. So heaven help my heart. 'Cause here I go again. Every time I kiss this love goodbye, I fall right back again. Heaven help my heart. No matter how I try, I can never wait this love goodbye. And you're the reason why. Heaven help my heart. I thought it was over. I thought we were through this time. So why when you meet someone new, is it you that's on my mind? And I still get burned. When will I ever learn? Heaven help my heart. 'Cause here I go again. Every time I kiss this love goodbye, I fall right back again. Heaven help my heart. No matter how I try, I can never wait this love goodbye. And you're the reason why. Heaven help my heart. Heaven help my heart. 'Cause here I go again. Every time I kiss this love goodbye, I fall right back again. Heaven help my heart. No matter how I try, I can never wait this love goodbye. You're the reason why. Heaven help my heart. Heaven help my heart. Heaven help my heart.
That's the title of it, Heaven Help My Heart, Country Cousins. They are Carly and Katie. They're with me live from the South Cumbria this evening. In Barrow as well, we've got Dave McGerty. Next time we hear that, Dave, it will have the legend that is Albert Lee on that.
Yes, indeed, all being well, John. And I'd just like to say that was Katie that took the lead on that particular song. So they've both got a run out on lead vocal.
Right, there we are. So it's one each now, girls. Hey. And I know Carly is particularly excited because you're going to the recording studio to meet Albert. And you're taking your dad with you, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, Katie's dad's coming and Katie's father-in-law as well.
Wow. It's going to be a family day out, yeah?
Yeah,
family day
fans
out with
of
a big
Albert.
car.
Well, listen, lovely to chat to you this evening. Best of luck with that. Thank you very much for joining us. And before we go, Dave, I can't go without mentioning our old friend Les Trotter. He was a former roadie of yours, wasn't he, Les?
He was, in the very early days. Les drove his van for us. He came with his own van, so he's really handy.
There we are, man with a van. And I know he's got a main event at the weekend. I think it's Horton Tower for the hill speed climb, Horton Tower in Lancashire on Sunday. Lovely to chat to you as ever, Dave. Thanks for joining us this evening. on BBC Radio Cumbria and BBC Radio Lancashire. A couple of lovely songs there from country cousins Katie and Carly. There's Katie.